Alright, what is going on, everybody? We are back for our final match of the night, and oh boy, do we have a good one for you guys. It's Rocker Man, it's Bagels. We're back in the booth here for the final matchup of the night, and Bagels, we have a play-in game for the final wildcard spot in the Titan League.
Yep, it is indeed winner go home. And right as you said, oh boy, literally in chat, two people, both almost saying oh boy.
Yep.
They definitely, everybody knows in chat, at least the Titan League players in chat, they know what's going on. We know what's going on. One of these two teams will be going home. The other will move on to likely secure the sixth seed because both the teams in the West here not looking so hot in record, but they're looking to try and squeak their way in.
Yeah, the Titan League a little bit interesting there. As you guys may recall, the conference winners and then a top wild card from each conference will make it in, and then also two at-large wild card spots go into the next best record. So these guys, the East was really good this season. I know you know about that, Bagels being a I guess now former player in the East and now just a GM in the East. But this West, they haven't been great this season. But when it comes down to this, Bagels, both these teams definitely deserving of at least having a shot here to make it in. And we always love when we get one final attempt here to make it in.
It is going to be perhaps a final attempt here for Diversion that won't be at full strength as they're missing out on Zolfi at the moment. He might be able to make it in mid-series, but for now it looks like they will be using Sense in place of him. But with that being said, I feel like the fan favorite and the favorite on paper for this matchup has got to be Grandmasters, but I feel like they have an inconsistent playstyle at the same time. But honestly, I've been impressed with Muffin so far this season. I feel like he's really made the jump all the way from past few seasons being in Prospect and then being in Rival last season. And just even watching him stream in the Discord, just being in the same VC as him and watching his screen, I can see that he's gotten a lot better. So we'll have to see if Muffin can kind of just be a solid player here for Diversion in place of Zolfi.
Definitely have to see is we got them all in the lobby. We're ready to go. I know you talked about Grandmasters, you talked about Diversion, Bagels. Both 7-8 here. Winners going to the playoffs. Who do you got in this one? Who's heading to the playoffs? Who's heading home?
I mean, I feel like there's no way Grandmasters throw this. Even if they had Zolfi on the other side, I feel like Grandmasters take it. But if they do get Zolfi, maybe game 2, I think it will be a closer series. But I feel like Grandmasters should win this series 9 times out of 10.
All right, well, we will have to see here as we're headed into things here. A play-in match for the final spot in the playoffs as we ramp up into the next couple weeks. The play-in tournament starting next week, and then following closely behind, we got the whole playoffs coming through. This is going to give us a little taste of that action as these guys win or go home. We got Diversion over there in the red there with Anti, Moifin, and then Sense, who is on the rival league team of Distortion, subbing up. We talked about it. Diversion missing Zolfi, who's their normal main roster, and then on the other side, Grandmasters with Mitch, Ghost, and T1, and I believe that's pretty much been their main roster for majority of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Bagels.
Yeah, I think they got. I think Twan's kind of been there ever since the very beginning, and they kind of added Ghost somewhere midway throughout the season. But I really haven't seen this team play as a great save coming out from the rival sub-in right there. I really haven't seen this team play at all with this roster, besides one stream game, maybe very beginning of the season. So I definitely feel like on paper they're a good roster, but we'll have to wait and see if there's any sort of chemistry or just individual mistakes coming out.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I haven't seen much for the Grandmasters, which attempted a passing play, but Anti, he's able to get right in the way and shut it down. Picks up a Savior medal. But so far, nobody able to find the board here. Get their first goal of this series, this best of 5. As Bitch is sending this one down. Sense taking it back to his zone. Zone gonna pop it out. Gonna get demoed for his efforts. As Anti clearing it into the Grandmaster's zone. As T1 is sending it down towards the net. Sense is racing back and cleared off the backboard, but Ghost is up. So that one's going to be sent just a little bit wider than he was hoping. Mitch out in the midfield. T1 in the midfield for the shot. A nice banger to the back of the net for T1. And Grandmasters straight first.
I'm just going to have to correct you. I'm pretty sure it's Twan.
Is it Twan?
I'm pretty sure it's Twan. Just
Okay.
because that's what Mitch has told me.
All right.
But absolutely, a good shot from Twan, top left, and really, Diversion hasn't had any sort of offensive pressure on the Grandmasters half at all. They're sitting at 0 shots. They've been able to, or up until that point, they were able to hold off Grandmasters. As one is going to sneak through here off the kickoff, and again, just absolute shot domination, 8-0.
Yeah, Diversion just getting caught out here. You see last defender try to get it through, and Ghost just a little bit quicker to that one. And yeah, like you said, so far Bego's the Grandmasters with a 2-0 lead, and yeah, dominating that shot department at the moment. And Diversion, they really, with the rival league sub here, haven't got much going at all.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're missing the speed and consistency of Zolfi. I haven't seen Zolfi play on this Diversion team, but back when he was on Lions, back when I was actually playing on the team, we went to Game 5 against him and definitely proved that he was a capable player. As a shot, the first shot finally rolling in here for Diversion, but it will be sent away. As Twan gonna miss this one off the backboard, Mitch bailing him out, getting a save, but I mean, it really, that second goal was kind of just a mistake off the kickoff, and the first goal was earned. But even then, Diversion, they gotta, I know they're playing with a rival sub, but gotta try and catch Grandmasters off guard here.
Here comes a shot from Mitch to the back of the net there. A third one. The Grandmasters feeling good here as this one is a banger.
Yeah, it just seems like the positioning is off for Diversion. I mean, that's a fast shot. That's a shot that probably should go in based off of where Diversion were placing themselves. But really, a lot of these players are getting caught out in the midfield, going for boost, waiting for a 50 or a challenge that's coming from their teammates. But ultimately, the challenge never comes out. And that's the second time they've gotten caught out, whereas the first goal was just like sustained pressure and deserved to be scored. As here's another one that honestly should have been scored off the counter, but Mitch can't find the accuracy.
Grandmasters 3-0 lead here. They just gotta hold on, but Diversion gotta hopefully find something here to give themselves a chance. As time ticking away. Mitch gonna send this one towards the net. Diversion double committing, maybe even triple committing there. As Ghost gonna find one touch muffin on that one. Sense to the sidewall here, looking to take it past off the backboard. A great opportunity here, but Ghost, he's the first one to it, able to pop it up. And he's able to follow it as well, take a shot towards the net, but Muffin finding that clear. As Sense sending it down. An opportunity for Diversion, pitch across in the midfield, but it's not gonna go. Again, Diversion, they're almost finding these attempts, but it's just really Bagels. Nothing has been so threatening to where, you think that should have been a goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're accurate, but they're lofty, and the one real opportunity they have, they can't hit it right there. Granted, not really expecting the whiff to come out, but one that you gotta hit if you have any hope of coming down from a 3-0, but at this point, with a good hit from Sense, Muffin's charging in, but this game is all done and dusted at this point, and really, it was just it came down to midfield control. Last minute or so, Diversion started to break out of the midfield, but really Grandmasters, they're just the speedier team, and they're beating Diversion to the balls. But at the same time, Grandmasters haven't really done anything that's impressed me at all, especially considering Diversion's playing with a rival sub.
Yeah, it's been a weird game one there as the Grandmasters, they take it home, but yeah, I'll agree with you. Grandmasters, they did what they had to do. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't necessarily impressive, but they get the job done, and maybe against a rival sub there, but they get it done and now find themselves up 1-0, which is a great start to the series, all things considered there, and they didn't really let Diversion get anything going at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, just the midfield completely locked down from this Grandmasters team, not allowing Diversion to really do anything. Past minute or so of the game, Diversion started to kind of work their way out, but I think that was just kind of due to Grandmasters messing around positionally and trying to go for bumps, maybe a few pre-jumps. But at the same time, like I said, Grandmasters did nothing to impress me. Like you said, they did what they had to do. They scored the goals, but I'm kind of expecting a mechanical guy like Mitch to pull out a musty double, flip reset, something off the ceiling, because they're given a lot of space, but they're just see ball, hit ball.
Yes, seat ball hit ball indeed does happen. Even at the highest levels in Nemesis with these guys, and the Grandmasters take it a 1-0 series lead. But Diversion, their playoff lives are on the line, and Bagels, I know, we've been around here for a while, and Diversion, Can's Titan team here, they had a great run last season as well as a couple shots coming through. Mitch trying to finish it off, and he does hold that thought there. It's Mitch gonna put one home, and Grandmasters strike again.
Yeah, but just one of those situations again where it's a fast developing play, but there's 3 players. There's one to the right, middle, and to the left, and just nobody pounces on that ball. Nobody's rotating in quick enough off that 50, and they just need to stop Grandmasters. They need to stop the shooting lanes and passing lanes and just have somebody dive on a ball before it becomes too dangerous like that.
Yeah,
Like right here, somebody should be pushing like immediately.
Yeah, that one getting a little too close for comfort. There is. They're trying to take it down the pitch. Sense blocked to the backboard. Spawn with the clear. As Ghost out in the midfield to Mitch, send it towards the net. Wayfin gonna find the clear. As Mitch off the ceiling looking for Twan, but it's gonna be sent down. Sense might be an opportunity here for Ghost. He's actually gonna win it out. Only to Mitch, and again, Diversion still looking to break out. Here comes Ghost again, looking for the shot, gonna find it. But cleared away, Sense down towards the backboard. Twan out off to the side, looking to follow, but no boost to work with. Anti, very patient, trying to flick it up off the backboard. Very dangerous here. We've been trying to get to it, but Mitch denies him. Twan with the save. And still, Diversion is yet to break in to the net there, Bagels. They're just not finding it. Almost an opportunity there, though.
Yeah, but that's a good recovery from them so far in the series. That's what I want to see, is trying to put Grandmasters on the back foot. And here's another opportunity, but Sense doesn't get any power or placement on that shot. But if they can have 2 or 3 more of offensive drives like that, Grandmasters will eventually run out of boost or maybe even force a double commit. But they got to get that going a few more times, as again, nobody's here cutting off these shots before they get too dangerous. 2 players pre-jumping, and they just got to cut off the ball before it's too late.
Yeah, this one you see 2 Diversion members go flying by, and Anti and just goes right by it. Oh, even can't touch it, and Mitch, he just drops it off the ground and in, and yeah, those ones just tough to watch. Your Diversion, it's just they haven't got anything going at all yet, Bagels, and it's starting to get a little bit tough to watch. I mean, they're still hoping these guys for sure, but they haven't even gotten onto the board yet, and we're a game and a half into the series.
Yeah, I mean, they're just really missing out on Zolfi, unfortunately, not able to come in. But I'd say if somehow, miraculously, Zolfi manages to make it out in the game 3 here that's coming up, assuming they lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised at a reverse sweep, because Grandmasters are not playing well. They're doing what they have to do. They're faster, but this roster for Diversion isn't really a fast-looking team at the moment, so it's not that hard to be faster. So if somehow Zolfi gets in game 3, I'm expecting a lot more Diversion pressure here.
Right, we'll have to see. The demo comes out, a nice little drop down in the midfield, but Anti not ready for that one. He's able to get to this ball here. Looking to send it down, finding a touch, popping up in the midfield. Out in the middle, Mitch and Sense both can't touch it. Muffin to the corner. Twan sends it out to Anti, who's putting a banger on net. First real opportunity, Bagels. I might say that might have been the best opportunity. All game was another one there. Almost going to go in. They can't find it. Again, now Anti trying to put it in, and there's just nothing Diversion can do at this point. Just everything they try is not going their way. And Ghost puts one home on the other end.
Yeah, somebody needed to hit the shot right there when they could. And 2 times, one of the Diversion players was trying to make a shot, and I think this is what happened the last time you and me were casting a Titan game together, is you can't go for the direct shot sometimes. Sometimes you just have to hit it around a defender to maintain ball possession, because if they get 1 or 2 more shots on that drive, one of them just might eventually squeak through, but you can't do your team any favors if you go for the shot and there's a player cutting off the lane, which is what Diversion should be doing on the defensive side. But Grandmasters are doing a good job on the defensive half so far, of just trying to cut off these opportunities like that before a player can come in and make it dangerous.
And another one there. This time, Sense able to cut off that opportunity. So they're trying to send it down. Diversion still looking to find a goal here, and
Oh!
finally they're going to strike through a nice passing play, and Moifin finds the back of the net, and Diversion on the board.
And finally, a really good pass actually coming out. Good counter, good speed to transition down the field, and very awkward bounce to deal with off the lip of the ceiling. But hey, you know what? That just might be the luck that Diversion needs here with 1 minute left to try and mount the comeback.
There's still a lot of time left in this game. It's definitely possible if they can get something going like this. Ante gonna clear it down, but it's only to the corner. As he finds another touch here. Out to Sense, but Sense a little bit too high. Couldn't quite find the shot. That was one they probably needed. As here comes Mitch pre-jumping that one out there. Moifin across the midfield. Tuan sent it down. Sense again. Another opportunity. Couldn't put it on net as he's faking by this one. It's going to work out. Moifin put it home and calculated to fake there as this one. They're within one now.
Yeah, I mean, that was, whether or not that was calculated or not, that absolutely put the entire defense in a flat-footed position. But really, Grandmasters got put in that spot because Tuan gave away possession in the midfield and just banged it out to the final defender, although they might be able to get one back here, but just off target. And now 20 seconds, it just might be done, but this one rifled in to the right side by Mitch, and now they get that extra insurance goal back.
And Mitch wasn't having anything with this comeback here out in the midfield. An opportunity for him, perfectly placed. Sense just so close, but not quite meant to be for him in that one. And the Grandmasters now 4-2, looking to take this game 2 and a 2-0 series lead. Time is winding down here, and that Diversion find anything. It doesn't look quite like it there as seconds tick away. This ball out in the midfield. Moifin gonna try to clear it as Sense bangs it down the pitch, and yeah, that'll do it. Grandmasters here are gonna take a 2-0 series lead, Bagels, and they stayed solid, and they keep winning here. In Diversion, gonna have to try to find something here as we're heading into game 3.
Yeah, and again, this was the same formula as game 1, where Grandmasters controlled the entire midfield of this game 2. A little bit weaker because Diversion was getting a lot more consistent offensive drives. We saw that one where they got 3-4 shots in a row, but ultimately they didn't do anything with it. But it's the same thing that happened. Grandmasters controlled the game, and then Diversion started to heat up in the final minute and a half. If Diversion can somehow get that consistency of the final minute and a half earlier on in the game, that'll put Grandmasters in more awkward positioning and have to force them to play from behind because they've been playing in front this whole series.
Yeah, Grandmasters, it just seems like Bagels, despite this being a play-in game for the final spot, it feels like there's been no pressure on them. I mean, Diversion, they only just now scored in that last game. Didn't score in game 1. Over halfway in the game 2, they finally scored. But it just seems like Grandmasters, they just haven't had any pressure on them. And I think if Diversion is the pullback as a first sweep, they're gonna need to at least put the pressure and try to score first and put Grandmasters in a position that they're unfamiliar to.
Yeah, and it's got to start early, maybe off the kickoff here, but Ante coming in too late. Muffin looking to keep this one up, but really, they gotta score first here in this game 3 if they have any hope, because I feel like if they're starting to play from behind again, they're just gonna get the offense started up too late, just like how it was in the first 2 games. And an awkward bounce here almost goes in, but ultimately they gotta get started, and they gotta get started now.
And we'll see here in game number 3, it's do or die for their season. Diversion hoping to avoid another playoff collapses. Shot coming in, but it's not gonna go. As there were some clutch demos there, and here comes Ghost, send it down towards the net. Muffin and Ante collide. Sense gonna clear it away, but Diversion, Bagels, you've seen them in the last couple seasons. I mean, last season even, they had a great team. If I recall, last season, I think they started out 7-0, and then ended up not making it in this Diversion squad. Had playoff position earlier, but they might just be losing it here as Mitch puts one home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pass, but again, Ante and Muffin both in the same spot, really. And they just got to cut the ball off before it gets too late. It's a basic shot. It's a basic just power shot waiting for the bounce, but Mitch was given the opportunity to put a good shot on net, and they got to stop it before it's too late. And again, Ante in an awkward spot, jumps and double commits and bumps all over the place, and somehow, as another bump comes out, they still haven't gotten scored on. But again, they didn't score first here, so I feel like immediately they're already in the back foot.
Yeah, being down 2-0 in the series wasn't enough. They now find themselves down 1-0 in this game 3 with their playoff lives on the line. Reminder, winner is heading to the playoffs and loser is going home and be eliminated from contention. And now it's starting to get into potentially dire straits. Diversion has to try to get this one out. A little bit of a double commit there as Grandmasters keeping it in out in the midfield. Moifin can touch, goes towards the net, looking for the double tap. He finds it, a great shot from Ghost. He puts one in, and it's 2-0 Grandmasters.
Yeah, I mean, just a whiff coming out from Muffin and Senses expecting a read out of that. But again, another situation where I don't know who it was on the midfield for Diversion, but they're going for a hit where they're just trying to smack it on the net, and you gotta hit it around the defender that's diving on you. It's so obvious that they're gonna dive on you, so why not just hit it to the right or the left of them and keep possession for your team? And ultimately, he smacked it into the diving player, lost possession, and now all three of them were back in an awkward spot, and that's what led Muffin to having to make an awkward read like that, even though it was a read he should have made.
And sometimes these mistakes, they can definitely compile and put yourself into an even worse position than you would have been before that. One mistake can lead to another. As Diversion trying to find some shots there, but here goes Mitch to the ceiling, looking to style on him. Ooh. He's going for the flip there as he tried to turn that one around. Looks like a little bit of a breezy flick as he tried to put it in, but not able to find the back of that. A little bit style here. And here comes a shot in Diversion on the board. The life is still there as they find their first of this game.
Yeah, I mean, Ante just getting a good dunk, and Mitch out for a stroll looking for the corner boost after he was trying to pull off some theatrics in the midfield. But, I mean, honestly, that's kind of how I'm expecting, this is how I was expecting Grandmasters to play the whole series. I was expecting Mitch to kind of do some crazy, unorthodox things like that, and that's really the first time he's tried to do it. Unfortunately for them, they get scored on right after, but he has a good opportunity here to take the RU dribble all the way, but Muffin there to get the save, and may have been an easy goal, but either way, Diversion absolutely needed that goal.
Yeah, they needed that one, and they have some life here. 2 minutes remaining. They're going to have to find some more offense and really see if they can take the lead in this game, or at least tie it up here. Going to need one goal in the next minute 45 to have a chance. As that one popped towards the net, but not going to go. Here's Twan off the backboard. Going to flip it by one. It's out of the midfield, but Ante, he's back and ready as he sends it down. Mitch taking this one up. Ghost and Twan are pre-jumping. This could be the opportunity for Diversion. They're all going in sense. He makes a save on the goal line. Somehow Grandmasters almost make it work out there. As here comes again a shot. It's not going to go. The Grandmasters, they're styling out here. Bengals are trying to go for something fancy. It's so risky here in a playing game scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if I were them, I'd be doing the same thing too, because I feel confident. I mean, it's just a different game that's being played on this field without Zolfi, and the Grandmasters know it, and I'm surprised it's taken them up till game 3 to start playing like this. But, I mean, still, at the same time, a minute left. Diversion does have a chance, but this has been the most offensive-heavy game Grandmasters have had all series. They're sitting at 13-3 for shots, so they're really feeling themselves, and they got to find something very productive here in the final minute to try and even take this to overtime.
Was this ball is dangerous? What is going on in the midfield? The Grandmasters just let them shoot the ball on the net.
You know, I'm not quite sure if they threw that on purpose, or it definitely looked like it. I think they want one more crazy goal to come out, but it definitely looked like they threw that goal.
They might have. As here comes Boyfriend towards the net. Want to make the save, but you know, Bagels, we talked about Zolfi. He may be looming if the series goes on long enough. As here comes a shot towards the net, and there it comes right back. Mitch puts it in with 20 seconds remaining. The Grandmasters back out in front.
Yeah, may not get to that point where Zolfi will, because the beat coming out in the midfield, and Ante just can't get back in time. And I think Diversion started to get too comfortable with how much Grandmasters were aping, and they just decided to score. So now it's going to come down to one final kickoff here to try and score.
Muffin out in the midfield. This ball blocked by Mitch, but goes with a nice save. Ante's got to get a good touch here. It's going to pop up high. Mitch, last man back, trying to get to it. Ante looking for the bump. Can't find it. One opportunity. Moifin off the backboard. Twan Gonna make the touch, trying to stay with it, gets it by him, sending it down. And that is going to do it. The Grandmasters hold on. They take the clean sweep here, and they are heading on to the playoffs there, Bagels. And they are surely happy to be heading on.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a dominating series from them, especially in that last game. I'm Mitch alone at 10 shots, putting on the offense, and I mean, maybe they were even trolling in the first two games because that offense was not there in the first two, or maybe the free. I'm not really quite sure what I'm trying to say. The no care play style, or no worries play
Carefree.
style, just worked out for him. Carefree, that's the
That's
word.
the
I'm having
word.
a moment. But I mean, realistically, like I said, Diversion didn't have a chance in this series without Zulfi. And if they did have Zulfi, I actually think, even though I predicted Grandmasters to win, the way they were playing it, it looked like it could have been a lot closer if they just had that one player. Might have been able to take a few games, maybe the series, but we'll never know. And
uh,
Grandmasters will move on to secure that 6th seed.
Hey, Grandmasters moving on to the final playoff spot. So congratulations to them on making it in the playing game. It was a little bit anticlimactic. The brooms got out here, Bagels. We got the brooms working in the final match. You don't love to see sweeps on stream, but hey, sometimes they happen in the Grandmasters. That's got to be a good confidence boost for them heading to the playoffs. But that is going to wrap it up for us tonight, everyone. I know there's still some games going on. There are a lot of shakeups here coming into tonight. I believe it was 5 out of the 42 teams had clinched their seed. So there was somewhere around 30, what is it, 37 teams that have not clinched their seed. So there's a lot of seeding up for grabs. I know there's still some games that everyone's watching to see how they're going to turn out. So we should be sticking around in the Discord, checking out those reporting channels. I know there's a lot of interesting games, and we still have some more games on Saturday Night Rocket League. We actually have a 4-match showing on Saturday Night Rocket League this week with a play-in game for the Novice League, and then 3 normal Saturday Night Rocket League matchups, but all of them potentially have some implications on who's going to make it in and who's going to be out. So you guys don't want to miss it. Appreciate everyone hanging around. That's going to wrap it up for the night. But we're appreciative of all of you hanging out, and we'll see you guys Saturday night.